It's the RIOT Podcast. This is the Monday, July 24th edition. Our astute listeners will know that Isaiah had a wedding over the weekend. Not yours.
No, I did not get married. That would be a shocking revelation, wouldn't it?
That would be wild.
That would go from 0 to 100 really quick, huh?
Yeah, if you came back and told us, hey, I found someone that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
We're getting married
I've
already.
already tied the knots. So you had a wedding over the weekend, your brother's wedding. You were the best man. You had a big speech planned. How did that go?
Speech went great. I'm excited for the video of it. Because when you give a speech like that, I don't even barely remember what I said.
Yeah.
I know that I said everything I wanted to say. I don't know how I said it or how I looked saying it. But everyone gave me very high praise.
Yeah.
A lot of high praise. So I'm excited to see that back, to see if it was as legendary actually as it is in my head.
That's a good point. I've never seen, I gave one best man speech. I've never seen the wedding video from that. That was from my best friend from growing up.
You never seen the video of it?
I've never seen the video. Would it be weird to ask, can I see your wedding video?
Yeah, you should ask.
And then not say, well, I guess what's weirder? Saying, can I just have your wedding video, or saying, hey, I want the wedding video because I want to see myself?
No, I think you should ask for yourself. I think asking for the wedding video could be weird, but if you ask for your best man speech, I think you should just ask for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could use any myriad of excuses. I don't know if your wife was there or not at that time.
Yeah, she was not there.
And she wants to see it.
There
Easy
you go.
money. It's not that I want to see it. I was there.
Yeah,
my wife wants to see it. We were having a big argument about if I was a good public speaker or not. And I said, "Well, wait, do you see this speech?"
Yeah. I guess, you know what? It's probably not worth the risk, though, because I remember very fondly. I remember receiving as much as you did this weekend, a lot of praise, a lot of pats on the back, thinking I did a very good job. So the only thing that can happen is that I watch it back with a critical eye and realize that it wasn't any good at all. Realize all the things I could have done better. And you know what? I'm not getting another shot at that one.
Get that video. You need to get that video.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I want to watch it.
I'll work on it. I might see this guy soon. So we'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, leading up to the best part was leading up. There was so much build up before and so much work we had to do. But on Friday, I went through the most amount of pain that I went through in a long time.
Oh yeah? You have to go to the hospital?
No, not quite. I got my eyebrows threaded.
Oh no.
And you know how painful that was?
Yeah.
I've only ever done it one other time for a different special occasion.
Yeah.
But it's been at least over a year since the last time that it happened. And I forgot how painful it is. I was crying.
Yeah.
Not like baby crying.
Yeah, but
it was forcing tears.
Yeah.
Were rolling down my face. She had a napkin.
That. Yeah.
And she was just constantly wiping.
She's used to that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to feel ashamed.
But I still felt I felt bad.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I feel like such a weenie. I was struggling.
Did anybody remark on your eyebrows?
No one said a word.
So was it really worth it?
It wasn't worth it. I mean, they look good. For all the photos.
Yeah, that's right.
They look good. But no one mentioned them whatsoever. And I was in the kind of the center. I mean, I was the best man. So it wasn't like I was hidden away.
Yeah.
Everyone could see me.
What if your eyebrows were so beautifully done that was a topic of conversation?
Everyone was talking about it, and they didn't want to say anything?
Yeah, your brother's now wife is getting upset. Everybody's talking about Isaiah's eyebrows.
Everyone's
not paying attention to me. Yeah. Can't believe he did this.
Or everyone's like, they look too good. What's wrong with that guy?
Right.
How do you get them like that?
Are they real?
Did he color them in?
Are they tattooed on? That's a trend.
That's a big trend.
Yeah.
So maybe people were talking about behind my back and they didn't want to ask me about it because they thought it would be weird if they asked about my eyebrows as a man. But yeah, so I did that on Friday, and then the whole wedding thing was super fun. Danced a lot on Saturday night, and overall it was a grand weekend. I had a great time.
How long do you think it's going to be till you have another wedding you're involved in?
I'm in another wedding. October 22nd.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, after that, any prospects?
Not for me, but my friends. I'm sure I'm in that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean you getting married.
Yeah,
we all know that's not happening anytime soon.
Next summer, I'll probably have two or three more, because I'm in that prime wedding age right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm 25, so all my friends are all getting married right now. There's a bunch of my friends are engaged. I know I have one next August, on August 5th already. So I'm locked into at least one for next summer right now.
Sheesh.
So I'm sure there'll be more. It's going to be great. See, no, I already know. I have 2 next year. Now I think about it, I already have 2. 2 of my friends are already locked in.
Well, save the date.
So maybe 4.
Save the dates.
Who knows? Probably double. It's going to be grand. It'll be a fun time, but it's a lot to handle.
A great Riot podcast ahead of you today. We've got some Barbie talk in there since that was so huge this weekend. And you're going to like it.
Good stuff from the weekend.
Yep. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
It's time for our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown. And this box office breakdown is bigger than ever. At least bigger than any other box office of 2023. That's right. The number 1 movie of this weekend, Barbie.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
Adds up.
It all adds up. And Barbie made a lot of money. A lot of money. Again, more than any other movie has made in its first weekend in 2023 to a tune of, in North America, $155 million.
That's pretty solid.
Everyone went and saw Barbie. Everyone.
Well, not everyone.
A lot of people. A lot of people saw Barbie.
I'm surprised looking at this here that the numbers are so similar to some of the other movies that came out this year.
It's
like
right
Super
around
Mario
there.
Bros. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Just seemed like there was so much more hype. I expected it to have a bigger gap.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I mean, Barbie's the first Barbie movie where I guess it was the first Super Mario Bros. Movie too, but that's a little more, more kids probably going to see that than Barbie. So I guess that's probably what I chalk it up to, all the kids in Super Mario. But Barbie, $155 million. Did you know this, Isaiah? Also, the most money in an opening weekend ever for a movie with a female director. That's a big accomplishment.
There you go.
Now, coming in at number 2, though, this was the question I think was, there's a lot of hype about Oppenheimer as well. Would that actually make a decent amount of money, or is that a little too, highbrow for some? It still made $80 million. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Coming in at number 3 at the box office was Sound of Freedom 4. That made $20 million. 4 Mission Impossible, and 5 Indiana Jones. Isaiah, I know you had a wedding this weekend, so you probably didn't have time to watch a single dang thing, did you?
I didn't watch anything.
Nothing.
Too busy.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that you got to celebrate 2 people joining their life together forever, and you didn't have time to watch anything.
Yeah, it was my brother's wedding. Yeah. And I was the best man, so I didn't really have time for much of anything other than that. Yeah. Well, you missed out. Barbie, I went and saw it. That was my big accomplishment this weekend. And I'll tell you, my review is, I wish I liked it more, but that's just because there's so much hype. The reviews, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe. Obviously, we've been hearing about it for months. It was the Barbenheimer weekend. And so I think I want to go back because I enjoyed it. I'd like to go back and watch it again. I don't mean go back to the theaters. I'll wait. It should be on HBO, on Max at some point. But go back and see it again with understanding what it is a little better and see how I feel about it then. But there is a lot to like about it. It does a good job of making Barbie inspirational while also mocking Barbie. But at the same time, I feel like I wonder what it would have been if it was just like a full-on straight-up comedy, which we never get anymore, and it didn't have it wasn't so inspirational and heartfelt. How can Barbie be inspirational?
What do you mean?
I'm just wondering. I haven't seen the movie.
How can Barbie be inspirational? Barbie lets every little girl know that she can be a doctor or an astronaut.
They took that.
Yeah.
That angle. Got it. I didn't know that. So
you didn't know that every little girl can be an astronaut?
No, I didn't know that Barbie had...
If they believed.
I didn't know that Barbie had astronaut ones.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Because I've never owned a Barbie.
Yeah. Your parents don't have a toy store?
They don't sell Barbies.
They don't
there.
sell that? Oh, they're one of those.
Well, it's just trademark. They're not allowed to.
Oh, okay. Got it. Barbie, I give it a thumbs up and a half if I had to.
If it was named just Blonde Girl and it wasn't named Barbie,
do
you think it'd be like as high, like as made as much money? Would the movie stand out as much?
How can you ask? It was a unique movie.
Okay, so it's like the movie overall was good. It was worth the hype. Okay, then good.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
So you'd recommend me going to see it in theaters, or do you think I should wait?
Oh, I think you'd like it.
Okay.
I think you would like it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I like it.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. RadioU.
Have you checked in on Twitter this morning?
I've been seeing all the rage.
Yeah. Things have changed.
Things are different.
Things are different. Twitter is now officially X, I think. Is that how you say it? I've never gotten clarification on that, whether it is X or whether it's like the Roman numeral X for 10 like Apple uses it. Which is a great start that I'm not even clear on how to say the name of what Twitter used to be and still kind of is, at least as of this moment. I'm on X, but to go to X, I had to go to twitter.com. Feels like a bad who's on first kind of.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. How do you get to X? You go to Twitter. Well, how do I get to Twitter? You don't go to Twitter. It's X. I don't know. It's bad. It's bad, but that's what Elon Musk has us on right now. Twitter is in the midst of transitioning to X. You should see the apps, the logo
slowly
and surely change over eventually to where it will be X across the board. And I mean, what do you think? I mean, you're a big Twitter user.
I mean, I don't even know. It's just I'm gonna click on the app the exact same way.
Yeah.
Whatever the name is.
That's what I was thinking. It's not dumb enough to make you stop using Twitter /X. That would be a weird, like, honestly, if I was changing for the name, I was probably going to change anyways. But it is stupid.
Like,
right?
you think about Facebook.
Uh-huh.
They're going by Meta.
Yeah.
And they
the company.
They did that like 5 months ago.
I don't know. It was a long. I think it was probably longer than you think. Yeah.
And I mean, has that changed anything for them?
No, probably not. It still seems to be, at least from a Facebook perspective, on a downward trajectory. And I'm sure that's the same for Twitter. It feels like Elon Musk is just pulling out all the stops to try to recapture some attention. Yeah. And this doesn't feel like it. It will bump up your people looking at you for a day because they want to see the new logo and see what's different, which the answer is not a whole lot except the logo. But it's just dumb.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies that have went through like rebrands.
Uh-huh.
They've changed their name, but like it never really changed.
Yeah.
Like Google changed their name to Alphabet or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And that obviously never stuck.
Yeah.
Everyone just calls it Google.
But I feel like a lot of that is always behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know? This is right up in front of our faces. And so it feels a little, and it feels like calling it Twitter wasn't the problem with Twitter, was it?
I don't know if there ever was. Was there a problem with Twitter?
Oh, Twitter's got problems. But,
I think it's fine.
But not focusing on the name. And you want to talk about confusing. What the heck do you call tweeting now?
I have no idea.
We already went through this with Threads once. We're going to go through this it's a lot harder. What did I X? Yeah,
when no one's going to change the way they talk about Twitter.
Yeah. Which just lends more reason to why it should be Twitter. Or do we just sound like old fuddy-duddies? Is this what the kids want?
Maybe it is.
Yeah, the kids have been clamoring. Elon Musk is going to bring in a whole new generation by changing the name to X.
I guess so.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.RadioU.com.
Check this out, Isaiah. I need you to weigh in on this. I've got a woman that is suing a Thai restaurant in Los Gatos. That means the cats, right? Is that what that means?
I'm not sure. I'll get that for you.
Yeah, it's a town anyways. And she's suing the restaurant because they served her a spicy appetizer called Dragon Balls. It's a good name. Problem is, according to her, this spicy appetizer was way too spicy. So spicy, in fact, that she claims she suffered severe chemical burns to her vocal cords, esophagus, and right nostril.
Because of the actual, like, spice level, not the actual heat.
Yeah, we're talking chemical burns. So there was something in these Dragon Balls that was so spicy that it damaged her voice, it damaged her nostril. That's a wild claim. And she's not just suing, the restaurant's called Coupe de Thai. She's not just suing the restaurant itself. She's serving its owner, the chef who cooked it, the meal, the waitress who took her order, and anyone who, quote, in any way influenced, designed, prepared, or participated in creating the Dragon Ball dish.
Well, that seems like a little bit much.
She's taking them all down. Even the waitress. It's the waitress's fault she got the burns.
Before that, I was like, maybe you're suing the waitress? She's making like minimum wage.
Yeah.
Why are you suing her?
What did she have to do with this?
It's not her fault. She went back there and grabbed the food.
She just literally
came out and handed it to you. For that reason alone, I'm against her now. I no longer want her to win the lawsuit because you sued the waitress, you money hungry.
The waitress doesn't deserve it. And think about how this would change the paradigm of waiting on people, because all of a sudden you're assuming a whole lot of risk. You could get sued just simply by bringing the person the food that they asked for.
Yeah, that won't stand up. That's not going to go through there.
That can't. You want to know more
She sounds like a big baby now. I'm against her.
You want to know more about Dragon Balls?
Let's hear it.
Dragon Balls is described as spicy chicken balls with mint, shallot, green onion, cilantro, kaffir lime leaf, and chili.
Yeah, they look tasty.
Yeah, they look pretty good. I understand why you would order them. And I just don't know how this is even possible.
Me either. Apparently, Walia states she experienced permanent injuries and will be forever damaged.
Thanks to the Dragon Balls.
Man, that must be a crazy amount of spice.
Yeah, it is kind of a cool story if you were to tell it the right way. Oh, this scar here on my nostril? Yeah, that's from some Dragon Balls. Actually, I don't know about that. Maybe keep that one to yourself.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe make up something else.
I would think that you want to just leave that as.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, once you're involving the waitress, it's,
She's taking everybody down with her.
Taking them all
from
down.
the top to the bottom. It doesn't matter who you were, if you touched the food, if you saw the food, if you were in the restaurant.
Yep.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
You ever heard of time blindness?
This is new to me.
It's new to you. Time blindness is exactly what it sounds like. Time blindness is something that people suffer from that makes it difficult for them to judge how long it will take to do something or how much time has passed since while they've been engaged in doing something, for example. And so it can hamper you quite a bit in life if this is something you deal with. You're making a face.
I'm just making a face.
It's radio. People can't see the face you're making.
Oh boy, keep going. I need to hear more information before I start talking.
Like you're skeptical of time blindness.
My immediate thoughts on this sounds kind of crazy.
Well, what have I told you that even many medical experts have weighed in on the topic and say that yes, it is a real time blindness is a real condition.
I'm not with it yet.
It particularly particularly can affect people, seems to show up in people that also suffer from ADHD. But it can also present itself in other people that maybe have depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, PTSD, other mental health conditions can all lead to some form of time blindness. Okay?
Okay.
And I have a woman here who's asking, she said she went to a job interview. She suffers from time blindness. And she said in the job interview, when asked, do you have any questions for me? She said, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time? Should employers make accommodations for time blindness?
See, my initial thoughts here are absolutely no.
You don't think so?
I don't think you can make an accommodation for that.
And
you
why?
got to show up. I think it's two things, right? The first thing is you got to show up on time. That's just like a pretty mandatory work thing.
Yeah.
I think across the board, even if you struggle with time blindness, I think you got it. Maybe you find a job where showing up on time doesn't really matter. If there's
Such as?
I don't know yet. I don't know what job that is. I know somebody's going into work today. Like my job, I got to be here.
Yeah, we'd have trouble here.
You got to be here on time. And so I'm sure there's a job where someone's going in this morning where they have like a fixated like hour period.
Yeah.
You got to be there sometime within that hour, you know? It doesn't really matter. Maybe there's a job like that you could go for.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is like not knowing how long something's going to take you. That's like a big deal too.
Yeah.
Because when I think about my day, there's certain things I got to get done today. And if today I just forgot how long that was going to take, that'd be a big deal if I didn't get it done.
What about this, though? Think about if you're an employer and you have employees that suffer from time blindness, think about how they could use this to their advantage, the employer.
Okay.
Let's say I'm an employer. Oh, yeah, time blindness. Yeah, no big deal. So they get here a few minutes late, but then you don't tell them the time. And maybe you start messing with the clocks on the wall and stuff.
Smart.
And all of a sudden they're working like 15-hour days and they don't even realize because they're time blind.
They have no idea.
And so it's kind of like a win-win.
5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, how do they know?
They've got a job and they're feeling like they're being accommodated to. And you, as the employer, you're getting more than your money's worth.
75 hours a week.
Exactly. I think it can be a win-win.
I think it could be for them. I think that is. I like the way you're twisting it there. If they have no idea how much time has passed because they're time blind, they have no idea. So I get it now.
Then they get home. It's like, why is it dark? Oh, you're time blind. You clearly lost track of time.
But you didn't know how long the trek home was going to take you.
Yeah, that's right.
You didn't know. It's usually 20 minutes, but you didn't know it was going to be 45.
I'm a solutions-oriented guy. I want to help everybody out.
I like the way you're thinking. I think that sounds, all of a sudden, maybe we all need some more time blind employees.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
You think marriage is outdated?
No.
No? It's still a valuable...
Initial reaction, no.
It's still a valuable tradition in your eyes because I have a new survey here that says 40% of young adults now think that marriage is outdated. 2 out of 5 folks that are like Gen Z and millennials are saying marriage, kind of an old-fashioned thing, don't you think?
I don't know. That seems like a high number, right?
It feels high.
40% of young adults feel like marriage is outdated. But I feel like 40% of young adults are thinking some wild things right now.
Yeah.
They got plenty of time to figure out if they really want to get married or not.
Yeah. Well,
but right now, maybe they don't.
And you see this here. 40% say the marriage is outdated, but only 1 in 6 say they don't plan on getting married. What percentage is that? What's 1 in 6?
20%, right?
That's
less than that, 15? 15.
Yeah, 15%.
Almost. It's like 17%.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
Less than 20%. So about half of the people that say marriage is outdated still think they're going to get married one day. They not only do they think they will, they plan on it. So how do you make sense of this?
Well, I feel like everybody whether they think it's outdated or not, I guess they're still going to do it. They think at some point someone's going to propose to them. And you have to think, too, they probably haven't, met their significant other yet.
Yeah.
And they're probably assuming that marriage is an important thing to them.
Oh, that's a good point.
If let's say, half of these people are guys.
Yeah.
If your wife or your girlfriend wants you to get married, what's going to happen? You're going to get married.
We hit on this when we were talking about how less people are having babies as well recently. It's that if you're in a relationship and one of you is not too into marriage and the other one is super into marriage, or at least, I think marriage is important, who wins? Most of the time, it's the marriage is important person.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think maybe we can read in a little more to these results when it says 40% of people think it's outdated, but I think they might be thinking of actually getting the marriage ceremony, because 73% of people said that getting married is too expensive. So maybe you're thinking less of being married is outdated, but more getting married is a little outdated. And that's why, we've talked about this several times before too. The way people get married, what the ceremonies look like, way different. People are exploring more with that than they used to.
Yeah, there's a lot. I just went to a wedding this past weekend. My brother and his now wife, Taylor.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. It was awesome. I know they probably spent a lot of money. It was sick, though. It was a lot of fun. I think it was definitely worth it. But I don't know.
Hopefully it's a once-in-a-lifetime type of thing.
That's what I'm thinking. Preferably, it's just whatever you prefer, I guess. Couple to couple, you figure it out. Or whatever she prefers, more than likely.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So we got people texting in at 8772 Radio U guessing or proclaiming which dogs they think are the most famous of all time. And we're going to see how many y'all have right. Isaiah, stop me when I go through these if you hear any that would be your guesses as well.
Okay, I've got 5 listed here, and I went off name brandness. I can say the name, and you'll know who I'm talking about.
You can picture
That's how I did mine.
Off the top of the head.
Yeah.
All right. One of the top guesses is Air Bud. Mose, Trevor, and Jeff all got in guessing Air Bud. Was that one of your guesses?
I had Air Bud an honorable mention, but that did not make my top 5.
Well, it didn't make the actual list either.
Nice.
Surprising to me, I guess. Another popular guess isn't just one dog, but the dogs from Homeward Bound. That's Jeff, Justin, Trevor, all got in with Homeward Bound dogs.
Good movie, but I didn't think they had the name brandness to be a top 5, so they weren't on my list. But I did consider.
I don't think a lot of people could probably, because they're just texting in the Homeward Bound dogs. Mm-hmm. They don't even know the names of the dogs. Many people don't.
Great movie, though.
And if Air Bud isn't on the list, the Homeward Bound dog's surely not on the list. How about this one, though? Justin, Regina, Zach, Jeff, all getting in with Lassie.
I didn't go Lassie. I didn't. But
you didn't pick Lassie.
It is, yet again, that's a name brand one that I wouldn't be surprised if that one made it, just not on my list.
Lassie made the list.
Darn it.
Lassie, I don't know if these are really in order, but Lassie is number 2. A few more guesses that started coming through. I like Tim. Tim said Snoopy.
Snoopy is on my list.
He's not on the list.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
That's a ridiculous take. No Snoopy?
Snoopy not on the list. Neither is Tim's other guess, which was Snoop Dogg.
Oh, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Tim's got jokes this morning. Let's see. Zach, and I saw a few other people say this. Beethoven. You know Beethoven, the dog?
It's a movie, right?
Yeah.
The dog, I assume it's a dog that plays the piano.
I don't know. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen Beethoven. He may or may not play the piano. I don't think he does.
He doesn't? Then I don't know.
Yeah. Zach and Janae getting in with Beethoven, not on the list.
I think I've seen that movie, but I don't remember
Actually, Janae and Zach also on the same page. They both guessed Balto as well. You know who that is?
I'm not with Balto.
Yeah, so you know he's not on the list.
Yeah.
Balto is actually a real life dog. Balto from Alaska, and he was like a wolf that was a sled hound or whatever, helped deliver the flu vaccine or something like that.
Oh, so he's like a real...
At least that's what the cartoon taught me.
He's like a real good dog.
Yeah, he was. He was a good dog. All right. Why don't we go through your guesses? More people are texting in. What do you got?
I've got Blue.
From Blue's Clues?
From Blue's Clues.
Not on the list.
Are you joking me?
Yeah.
Okay, next. Let's. I have 2 in a row here.
Okay.
These have both got to be on the list. These are my... Actually, I'll do my next...
Wait, hold on. Pause. You can still do your guesses and everybody else texting in too, but you're not thinking old enough.
Oh, it has to be older.
Yeah.
Because I've got 2. These next 2, if they aren't on there, they're the most famous dogs of all time.
Okay.
We've got Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo's on the list.
Thank goodness, because if not, we were throwing it away and ending the segment.
Scooby-Doo is on the list. Let's see. Who else got you with that one? Kendrick also. Now, some people are throwing out so many dogs that, by default, they're going to get it right. But Kendrick definitely said Scooby-Doo.
I've got Clifford.
Clifford is a good guess. You're not the only one to say Clifford, but he is not on the list.
That's ridiculous.
So
the
far,
big
just
red
to be
dog?
clear, we've gone through a million guesses, and we've gotten Scooby-Doo and Lassie.
What about Max from Grinch? That was my other one.
Nope.
Just like an old-time favorite.
Yeah.
What about Pluto? That was an honorable mention for me.
Oh, yeah. You would think Pluto would have to be on the list, right?
Yeah, he's Disney.
He's not.
Well, then I don't know.
Listen to these
That's all my guesses.
All right, we've gone through this. I don't think I've seen anybody guess this. This one makes sense. I don't know if I'd say it, but Toto from Wizard of Oz.
Average at best. Doesn't even have a speaking role.
So,
I mean, come on.
neither does Air Bud.
Hey, you know what? That's why I didn't put Air Bud on my list.
And these other two,
Not
these
enough character.
are wild choices. They really are going back in time a little bit. Leica.
Don't even know.
You
I don't
who
even
Leica
know.
is, right? Leica deserves to be on the list. Leica went to space.
Over Clifford?
Yeah.
Is Leica a real dog or is she in a show
Real
or something?
life. No, real life. That's
Okay,
why
well, then
it's-
that's different. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
And then finally, this other one, a real life dog, but also a movie star. Rin Tin Tin. Rin Tin Tin.
I don't even know.
You still know the name, right? I guess I know the name. I didn't know it was a dog.
That's ridiculous.
I'm reading here. Rin Tin Tin was saved in France in World War I and went on to spawn a million movies and stuff like that. TV show.
So a hero dog. I get it.
The Rin Tin Tin was rescued, is what I'm seeing here. So there you have it. The top 5 most famous dogs. No Snoopy.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
All right, we're going to need a verdict on this one. You can text it into 8772 Radio U. Obviously, Barbie came out this weekend. Too much fanfare. The biggest opening weekend for any movie this year. Lots of people went to see it, but it is causing problems for at least one family. I need an explanation or a verdict on this one. I have a 19-year-old aunt, and for the Barbie weekend, she decided to take her 11-year-old niece, we'll call her Kayla. It was Kayla's 11th birthday. And so the aunt says, I'll take Kayla to see Barbie. I'll take her to the movies. We'll go together for her birthday. It's a nice little treat, huh?
Yep, it's a good treat. A little movie birthday. I like that.
But here's the deal. Kayla has a sister, Violet. We'll call her Violet, 5 years old. And Violet apparently loves Barbie. The aunt says, I'll take Violet, but only if the mom comes along. Mom refuses to go along, and so now, rift in the family. Only Kayla and the aunt get to see Barbie. Violet left out of the equation, and the parents are upset. Who's right? Who's wrong? Your thoughts?
The parents are upset?
The parents of Violet and Kayla are upset that Violet, the 5-year-old, didn't get to go along with Kayla and the aunt to see Barbie.
Oh, the parents are totally in the wrong. 100%.
And why do you say that?
My reasoning is because it's Kayla's birthday.
Yep.
She's 11.
Yep.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Violet, the 5-year-old, younger age.
Yeah.
More to handle there.
Uh-huh.
For me, I'm 25. Let alone, yet again, Her aunt is 19.
19.
So taking Kayla to the movie theater, easy money. That's easy. Take her to Barbie, whatever. Taking Kayla and Violet, now that's a little bit more.
That's a lot to handle.
That's a lot to handle. And she said, I'll take her if Mom will come. Mom decided not to go.
Yeah, I think you have first of all, you have an easy out that it's Kayla's birthday. So this is special for her birthday.
It's not about Violet.
It's not about Violet.
Sorry, Violet.
Yeah, sometimes when you're siblings, you don't get to do everything your other sibling gets to do. Secondly, yeah, adding a 5-year-old to like a second child and it being a 5-year-old. 5-year-olds are pretty young. They can be pretty wild and rambunctious. To add that to take to the movies on an opening weekend, you could be kicked out of the theater.
It's going to be packed in there, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be packed.
And yeah, who knows what kind of commotion she might be causing. I'll tell you, I saw the Barbie movie, and while I don't, like, it wasn't, like, inappropriate for children, I wouldn't say in my personal opinion, but for a 5-year-old, would it keep their attention? I'm not really sold on that. I think it's so, you're just adding a lot of wild cards to the equation. Besides that, when you're a parent, you can't just dump off your children on other people just because they're, you know what I mean?
You're not taking Violet, too?
You can't just unload Violet because you want a nice, quiet night at home.
On Kayla's birthday. And she didn't even go to the movies. She said, you can go. She said, Violet can go if Mom will go.
She had the opportunity.
And she said, no, I'm not going to go. It's your daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And so then if you wanted Violet to go on your other daughter's birthday movie trip, then maybe you should go.
Yeah, this is, I'm glad we're on the same page with this. I don't really see how the parents can be justifiably upset here.
Next year, the aunt isn't going to take Kayla to do anything. It's what's going to happen.
That's right.
And then you get to entertain Kayla the whole day.
Yeah. Well, I think we've reached a verdict there.
That's how it's going to.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
What else did you watch?
I actually watched a lot. I took the time to watch a lot of stuff. One of the things I've been watching lately, catching up on, is Hoarders.
You've been on this big Hoarders kick.
I've been on a Hoarders kick. It just got added to Netflix, the new season. And Hoarders.
You love Hoarders.
I love Hoarders.
A little bit out of hand.
It's a good couples show, me and my wife, because we're both into it. You know what happens at Hoarders, right?
Yeah, they go into people's houses, they get a bunch of stuff, they get rid of it. Yeah, I get it.
And you just cannot believe how much stuff these people have in their houses. And the one I just watched, one of the ones, is a woman who's not only, she's bought her own house that she's filled with stuff that's just junk, just nonsense. It's never anything good. It's not like it's a hoarder's house. It's like, wow, look how valuable all the stuff you have is. It's just junk.
Yeah, always junk.
But
do you guys laugh during it? Is it like a funny thing?
It's kind of funny.
Okay, good.
And we always, too, kind of, if you ever watch Hoarders, there's certain, because they bring in these, like, therapists or whatever to help out. And some of them are so condescending that we kind of make fun of the therapists. Even though they're trying, it's probably how they're trained to talk to these grown adults like little tiny baby children that never learned how to throw things away. But nevertheless, this woman, she bought so much stuff that she had filled this house that she bought with stuff that she wasn't living in. And then she was a caregiver for another guy, and she had filled his house with stuff.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so it's just out of hand. And Hoarders always makes me, it's always a little bit of a wake-up call, the reminder. I guess some people, and I do this too, you view it and you're like, well, at least I'm not that bad. At least I'm not keeping, buckets of feces and every single newspaper since 1989. But at the same time, it also is kind of a thing to take inventory where maybe you're not holding on to so much physical stuff that your house is getting overrun. But maybe for a lot of us, I think there's a lot of nonsense that we hold on to kind of like in our minds, wasted space, stuff that we hold on to in our minds, in our hearts, that's taking up space there, actually really being a detrimental effect to us. And we just can't seem to let it go. You need one of those condescending therapists to come in and be like, okay, well, does this memory, holding on to this regret, is that really helping you out? and you hem and haw and eventually throw it out in a huff because you're upset. Sometimes we need that. And Jesus is exactly that because, hey, he's a whole heck of a lot less condescending than some of the therapists on Hoarders tend to be. Jesus is ready to come in and say, look, some of this stuff, just forget about it. Leave it behind. I'll help you with it. Let's get rid of it. Let's focus on what's actually important. So much of this stuff, what do they say? How is this improving your life to have this? So much of our memories and like stuff we hold on to, how is it improving your life to have it? Let Jesus come in and do a little cleaning out. Do a little cleaning up before you end up mentally hoarding a whole bunch of stuff that's just bringing you down. You want to know more? Check out RadioU.com/free gift.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Gaslighting sucks, right?
Yes.
It's wrong to gaslight.
Oh, it's bad.
It doesn't feel good to be gaslit. And ghosting, obviously, wrong, right?
Very wrong.
Actually, is it? Usually.
Well, case to case.
Yeah, I think sometimes I think ghosting can be...
You can ghost.
You can make an argument for it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel good to get ghosted.
Never does.
So you know what's worse than both? Being ghostlit.
Ghostlit.
Yeah.
Sounds like a scary movie.
Relationship experts are warning of the new... It's not really a new trend. Again, all these dating things, I feel like they come up with a new name for it. It's not something new that people are doing, but they've finally given it a name. Ghostlighting is a combo of gaslighting and ghosting, where if you were on the receiving end of such a practice, somebody would probably love bomb you up front, right?
Of course.
With all the gifts, things seem to be going great. Then suddenly you get ghosted. Suddenly the relationship drops off of a cliff with no explanation. And then, not long afterwards, who comes back but the ghoster, refusing to take responsibility for their actions, however, still interested once again, and thereby gaslighting you into thinking that it was your fault all along, that you misread things or that you did something wrong, and boom, you've been ghostlit.
This right here, I mean, it's bad.
Yeah. Shameful.
This is a wildly effective tactic, I think.
You think it works?
I think this really works. I think it really does. I could see this working. I could really see it working.
Like kind of like a carrot and sticks scenario.
This is pretty. I mean, yeah, obviously the combination of if you're able to really commit to that gaslight along with the previous ghost, there's a lot going on here that might be very trickerish.
A lot of trickeration.
There's a lot going on here that I think this seems like it might work.
You reel them in, reel them out, reel them in again, reel them back out. It seems I can see how you might think that'd be a good idea. However, according to relationship expert Rachel Dialto, she says people who ghostlight lack emotional intelligence, especially empathy. She says they are more concerned with preserving their emotional energy than being responsible for any angst they caused.
They do the good old... I didn't ghost you.
Mm-hmm.
You ghosted me.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You didn't get my text?
I called you.
Yeah.
You never responded. I saw you out. You made that face at me.
Uh-huh.
I tried to talk to you, and it just never ended up happening.
Yeah.
And so I assumed that you weren't interested, and I obviously have been interested the whole time, but I thought I'd reach out one more time just to make sure.
Circle back.
Before I really let you go.
Just to make sure, because I thought this was worth it. I thought we really had a connection. Yeah, you can see how doing that, if you're the ghost lighter, could lead to some real trauma for the other person over time. The ghost lightee. So I wouldn't recommend it. But it is something that people are doing nowadays, and that they've finally given it a word. The mashup of ghosting and gaslighting.
So now you know if you get ghosted, don't let them trick you into thinking that you ghosted them.
Be on your guard.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
You know the company Juul, right? They do the e-cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And they got into some hot water recently because even though obviously you're supposed to be, over 18, right?
It depends on the area. Some places 18, some places 21.
Yeah, it might be even higher. But Juul was really got into some hot water and had to pay a ton of money because it was found that they were really taking a lot of tactics to sell to underage people. So now they're trying to turn the tables. Juul is seeking FDA approval for an e-cigarette that would be able to verify a user's age before they were able to use it.
How's that even possible?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I am trying. Let's see. It says a unique pod ID chip that will prevent consumers from using counterfeit pods with the device. Okay, no, that's different. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole heck of a lot of detail that I can give you. But somehow they're going to be able to verify your age just by the actual e-cigarette itself. So even if you were underage and you got somebody, you get somebody to buy them for you. You get your parents, you get some
friend,
older brother, friend, whatever. You get them to buy them for you, and then you could be in for a rude awakening because you try to go, smoke it. Nothing. Sorry, you're under 18.
There's no way this is going to work, right?
How could this be actually
That's impossible.
possible?
It's impossible. There's no way.
Or it would take...
What's it, a thumbprint? You know
Yeah,
how long it's going to take? It's going to take so long. I feel like as well, this is the other thing that's crazy, is let's say you're like trying to smoke this thing or whatever. Like if you have to get verified every time you use it, it's going to take forever for you to be able to smoke that thing.
Yeah, that's...
Like no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, so you're just going to create more hassle for people who actually are overage.
Like think about if you're like trying to use like a Face ID. Think about if every time you went to like use your phone, if you had some faulty Juul Face ID that didn't really work all that well, and it's not just trying to figure out if it's your face, it's trying to figure out how old you are. And so it's going to deny you like 3 times in a row. It's going to work like 1 in every 7 times. And you're going to start getting upset. Yeah.
I can't figure it out. I'm going through here. It really doesn't give me any detail on how this would actually, what is the process that they're using to verify this? And so your mind instantly goes to, there's no way it could actually be too reliable. Besides the fact that, TikTok's a thing now. You get one person that figures out how to disable it, and all of a sudden it's going everywhere. Everybody knows how to do it, and it's no big deal. And you wasted all this time. But then I guess Juul can say, hey, look, we tried. So I don't know. It's a wild idea. Is it the worst thing to, as a company to prevent people from using your thing to technically break the law? Sure. But is it actually going to work? I have my doubts.
I would say probably not. But I'd like for them to give it a try. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah.
I think it would just be entertaining for me because I know I can just imagine people just staring like they're like trying to do like an eye, some sort of retina scan in front of me, and they're just doing it over and over again and getting upset. I think it'd be hilarious.
You picture a lot of people that smoke. What do they do it? Particularly when they're stressed. And so then they're stressed, and then I gotta have a Juul, and then they get that, and then come on,
they're like drinking,
and
they have like the drink in their hand. They're already kind of like drunk, and they're trying to get this little Juul thing to work, and they can't get it to go. The anger it's gonna ensue in so many.
If it ever actually hits the market.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Now, would you consider yourself a procrastinator?
In certain ways, yes.
You put stuff off?
A little bit.
Well,
I'm better than I used to be. I used to be real bad about it. Now I'm better.
What did you do to get better?
I just tried harder. Schedule things out. Organization. Planning out my days.
Sometimes that's good enough. But even if you are a procrastinator, I want to let you know you can rest easy. Because if you are a procrastinator, at least you're not a precrastinator.
Never heard of that one before.
Neither have I, but apparently it can potentially be even worse than being a procrastinator. Precrastinator is a person who rushes to get it, puts in extra effort and rushes to get things done right away, or 2%, some might say even too quickly. And so really the exact opposite. Procrastinator, right? I guess it's the exact opposite, although in a sense, the same result of a rush job getting done. But the end result is not whatever the outcome you want it to be. If it's a project, they use an example of cleaning your car. If you procrastinate on cleaning your car, you run out of time to clean it, and then you don't get it to get fully clean, right?
This makes sense to me. And the other reason I think it makes sense is because sometimes you need a little bit of time to really get your thoughts straight. Sometimes you need to let that sit. You need to sit on those thoughts before you just go ahead and take on the task. Especially if you're thinking creatively. Yeah. Then you have. I think procrastinating is way better than doing it right away, because you got to test things out, think on it for a while, figure out what's good, and then you figure out what's good, and then you find out things are better. It makes it so much better if you wait to the last minute.
Yeah. Now, some might say that procrastinating, if you do a rush job and get everything done and get a project done real quickly so you can move on to something else, some might say, well, maybe that's not the worst, because then you can circle if it comes to light, oh, that job you procrastinated on, you got done way too quickly, it didn't meet expectations, you can circle back around and take another stab at it. But at the same time, you're doing a rush job. And maybe by the time people realize, or you realize, that the thing you procrastinated on got done real quick, didn't meet expectations, maybe it's too late. Maybe you're already focused on something else type thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you're procrastinating, you're not going back to it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming they're thinking here.
And it seems that you're not putting enough thought. The problem is, in this case, procrastinators maybe sometimes put too much thought into a project, where procrastinators don't put enough thought. But yet again, many times the same end result of the project not equaling out to what you would hope it would be, because you just didn't put in the right amount of effort to get it done.
You're supposed to space it out, do it a little bit at a time, and then every time you come back to it, you'll pretty much be starting anew anyway, because all your old ideas will be bad by then.
So I guess keep in mind that however you tackle a project, it sounds like you're doing it wrong.
You should procrastinate, and then follow that up
by procrastinating.
Precisely. Put them together, and then you're perfect.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.